Hi there. I'm Rick Partlow. I am a science fiction author. I've written 76 military science fiction and space opera novels, including the Drop Trooper series, the Birthright series, Taken to the Stars, and a lot of others. And I'm here to talk to you about finishing your novel. Now, this is for a special case. This is writing a 50,000 word novel in 30 days. And I know that there's like a dichotomy there between experienced authors and people who haven't written the book. Experienced authors are like 50,000 words, that's nothing. I do that every 30 days. Whereas people who haven't written the book are like, oh my God, how am I going to do that in 30 days? I can barely write 2 words. Okay, well, I am going to try to address, going back in time to when I first started, how to get past the block that keeps you from finishing your novel, from writing, period, really. Because I experienced that when I wrote my first novel. I stared at the screen, as old as I am, I stared at the paper for quite a while before I actually got the words down. And I think I have come to a truism that is probably true for you if this is your first novel, even though you may not think it consciously. The reason why people have such a hard time finishing their first novel is because they think it's going to be their best novel. That's not the case. I've written 76 novels for publication. If you want to look at the novels I've actually written going back to when I was a teenager, I've written 79 because I wrote 3 before I started doing this professionally, and they have one thing in common: they all sucked. They were horrible. I threw them away. I don't have them anymore. I wouldn't want them. People was like, oh, how can you throw it away? Maybe you could retrieve it. No, they were horrible. So let me just tell you that when you sit down and you stare at the screen and you think, what's the right word to use here? And you strain at a gnat to get one sentence on the screen, and you write maybe 100 words in a day. I have been there, and I know why you do it. It's because you think, if I don't get these words right, then my career, my experience as an author is over. I've screwed up. I've messed everything up, and I will never be an author. But the truth is, your first book's going to suck. It's going to be horrible. But the good news is, with every other book you write, writing gets easier and you get better. The second book you write will not take as long, will not feel as much of a monumental accomplishment, but it will be so much easier. And you may not think it while you're writing it, it will be better. Because as with everything in life, becoming a good writer takes practice. And you don't get practice by sitting around thinking about writing. You get practice by writing. So look at this challenge, writing a 50,000 word book in 30 days. Look at it as this is practice for the rest of your writing career. Whether you want to write for fun or whether you want to write as a career, doesn't matter. This is the practice. This is the thing that will make you a better writer. So don't sit there straining over each word. Don't sit there thinking, I have to make this the best sentence I've ever written. Don't think I need to go back and reread my book every time I open up the file and write something new on it. Just write. Get it down, and if it sucks, you can either delete it or you can come back to it in a year, 2 years, rewrite it, redo it, make it better. But either way, it's not wasted. Whether you delete it entirely or you make something of it, it is not wasted any more than every practice that a football player or a basketball player or a soccer player goes out into the field and practices and makes mistakes and screws up and does things that would be stupid for them to do in a game. It makes them better at what they do. I'm not mentioning baseball because baseball is not really a sport. No, but You need to disable that inner censor, that inner editor that tells you the words you're putting on paper suck, and just embrace the suck, as they say in the military, because your first book will be horrible. And even if you're one in a million and your first book is pretty good, every other book you write afterwards will be better. Because as with everything in life, you become better the more you practice. Thank you and good luck finishing your novel.